So it is time to introduce the very first Tankmates for the eels, and one of the few Tankmates, once they reach big enough size, are these Volantin, I believe they're pronounced, lionfish. So these can get over a foot, about a foot and 3 inches, so 15 inches. So these fish, if anything, should be able to live with the tessellata once he gets to 5 feet. The Japanese dragon Moray is not growing any further. At 3 inch, he's already 3 feet is already maxed out. Here he is. But this guy is the one that can get really, really big. So hopefully the fish will reach maturity before the eel, which should be the case because I heard that the growth is slowing down the older they get. Whereas these fish, they get to their maximum size within probably about a year. So currently I'm acclimating them in my sump. Then I will be putting them into the tank and hopefully all will go well. Before I introduce the lionfish into the tank, I'm actually going to feed them the eels first. Just so they don't see the fish as food, and I'm sure that will help a lot. And also the crabs, I'm not sure if they're too dangerous for the lionfish. I don't think so. It's actually the other way around when lionfish get bigger. But yeah, going to feed them first, so they have big bellies and won't bother the lionfish when they go into the tank. So it's been a couple days since the lionfish were introduced into the tank, and looks like everyone is doing well with each other. So I was a little bit worried that the lionfish would get eaten. There are plenty of videos, especially of the tessellata attacking a lionfish, even after years of being kept together. But no aggression here. I mean, I did feed them probably too much once a day so that they can get used to me. And you're only supposed to feed them like once or twice a week. But I just didn't want to risk, aggression towards the lionfish, and also wanted them to get used to me feeding them, being the new owner. So everything is going well so far. The lionfish also only supposed to eat, I think, once or twice a week. I mean, you can feed them more often, but I think I'm gonna keep everyone in here on the same schedule, and maybe throw in some little pieces for the crabs because they need to eat more frequently. Unless this whole rockwork, gets covered with the algae and bristleworms and stuff like that, then they should be able to just, hold on until I feed them. And yeah, so far everything's going well. Lionfish are supposed to grow to about a foot and 3 inches. So I have 2 right now. I'm not sure. I have a lot of swimming space. Not sure if I'm going to add 1 more, considering how big these get, unless they get killed. But they should grow faster than this tessellata eel. This one's already fully grown, the Kidako. But the tessellata will grow from its current roughly 2 feet to about 5 feet. But the growth rate slows down the older the eel gets. And this one is already 3 years old. So I think the lionfish are supposed to reach full growth within a year, 2 years at the most. So I think the lionfish will reach their maximum size sooner, and hopefully will be too big for the tessellata eel even when he gets fully grown. And I do know of one video where a tessellata eel has been living together with a lionfish for 8 years and nothing ever happened. So hopefully, they can form some sort of community. I have to do my job making sure that they all, remain fed. And as long as I do that, I don't think any of these fish or the crabs should be considered food. And yeah, so if anything goes wrong, I will provide an update. But so far, I'm really happy that everyone is peaceful. In the beginning, obviously, the eels were very, curious and, did some sniffing on the lionfish. But they do spread out their fins and let them know to back off. And the eels surprisingly do that. So, and I also read that if a lionfish does have to sting an eel, which is painful to the eel. It will not die, it will not kill the eel, but the eel will then have more respect and back off and not mess with it again. So they do learn really quickly. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, but yeah. Like I said, I will provide an update if anything goes wrong, but so far everything is going well, and these lionfish are providing some, you know, life to the upper part of the tank. Since the eels are mostly staying in the rockwork, even when they become a little bit more active, they just, you know, go around the rocks. They rarely swim, you know, like they do in the wild. So that's why I got these lionfish in the first place. Okay, thanks guys, and hopefully you learned something. And if you're considering putting lionfish together with eels, I would say do it as you know, as quickly as possible while they're young, the eels especially, so they can grow up together, and you have a higher chance of success, I believe. Looks like he swallowed something that he's spitting out, but I think he's fine. Okay, thanks guys. I hope I see you in the next video. Take care.